Our story begins way up high in the Himalayas on the sacred Mount Kailash, which is the home of the goddess Parvati. So, Parvati, she was filled with this really powerful feeling, what we call maternal longing. You know, that deep, deep motherly desire for a son who would be completely and totally hers, loyal and devoted only to her. So what does she do? It's pretty amazing. She takes the fragrant, the pleasant-smelling, turmeric paste right from her own body and carefully shapes a boy. Then, using her divine energy, that's her sacred life-giving power, she breathes life into him. And just like that, he's standing right there in front of her, totally vibrant and just radiant. She names him Ganesha, and she gives him one very solemn, meaning serious and sacred, duty. With all the love but also firmness in her voice, she tells him, "My son, guard this door while I bathe. Allow absolutely no one to enter." Now Ganesha, even though he was just a boy, he took this job on with a totally resolute mind. He was just so firmly determined. He stood there at the entrance like a vigilant sentinel, a loyal, watchful guard, not about to budge for anything. Well, it didn't take long for things to get complicated. Lord Shiva, Parvati's husband, comes back from this super long meditation. And what does he see? Some kid he's never seen before blocking the path to his own home. You can imagine his powerful voice just booming.
"Let me pass. I am the lord of this abode." But Ganesha's loyalty to his mother? It was completely unwavering, totally steady and firm. He just replies, "No one may enter. It is my mother's command." And this is where it gets so interesting, right? You've got this clash of two absolute duties, a husband's right to enter his own house versus a son's absolute obedience to his mother. Now, Shiva, he was known for being pretty impetuous, quick and impulsive. He was not going to be told no. His anger it explodes into this terrible wrath, just extreme, unstoppable fury. You can almost hear him roar, "You dare defy me?" And in a single awful moment, he lifts his trident and severs the boy's head.
Just like that, a wave of dismay, of pure shock and distress ripples across the entire universe. When Parvati hears the noise and comes out, she sees her son, lifeless. Her grief was absolutely profound. It was deep. It was heart-shattering. Her sorrow was completely unrestrained. It was this raw, uncontrolled cry of anguish that felt like it could tear the world apart. "My son!"
The second Shiva saw Parvati's grief, he was just filled with this deep contrition. You know that sincere, painful regret you feel when you know you've done something awful? He knew he had to fix this irreversible act, something that just couldn't be undone. He vows to her, "I will make this right. I will bring him back." So he turns to his attendants, his voice now filled with this incredible urgency. He commands them, "Go, go in all directions. Find the very first living creature you see that is facing north, and bring me its head. Go now." So his attendants, they race off, and they come back pretty quickly with the head of a young elephant. Now think about this. This wasn't just random. It was deeply symbolic. The elephant represents incredible might, immense power, but also this profound sagacity, this deep insight and sound judgment. It's strength and wisdom combined. So with sacred chants, Shiva carefully places the elephant head onto Ganesha's body, and life just flows right back into him. Ganesha rises again, but he's not the same. He's transformed. He's completely serene, filled with this divine calm. And the heavens, they just erupt in jubilation, this huge celebration of overwhelming joy. And then Shiva gives his reborn son this incredible blessing. His voice, now so benevolent and powerful, declares, "You will be worshipped before all other gods, and you will remove the obstacles from the lives of your devotees." And that really sums up the new Ganesha perfectly, doesn't it? He becomes the Lord of Beginnings. He embodies prudence, that's wise caution, along with this incredible intellect, this huge mental ability. And of course, he is forever known as the remover of obstacles, the one you pray to at the start of any new venture. So let's just quickly trace the whole story through these words. It all started with Parvati's intense maternal longing. That led to a son whose resolute and unwavering loyalty unfortunately met Shiva's impetuous wrath. This awful tragedy caused profound grief, which then sparked Shiva's deep contrition. The solution? The elephant's head, which brought sagacity and wisdom. leading to a universe filled with jubilation, a truly magnanimous, a great and noble outcome from such a painful, painful start.
So what's the big lesson here? Ganesha's story teaches us that virtues like obedience, responsibility, when they're met with humility and divine grace, they can transform even the worst tragedy into a magnanimous blessing, one that's truly great, noble, and generous in spirit. And that really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? As we go through our own lives, with our own challenges and obstacles, it's worth asking ourselves, what tragedies in our own lives could, maybe, be transformed into magnanimous blessings?